Word association test. In this test, you'll be shown 60 words, 60 words on the screen, and they'll be shown after interval of 15 to 20 seconds. Each word remains on the screen for 15 seconds. What you need to do is you'll need to frame a sentence using that word, or maybe a form of the word, or maybe you are not even using that word, but you are somehow taking it into the meaning of the sentence that you have created. Okay, so that word is shown for 15 seconds. You need to see the word. Within that 15 seconds you need to write the sentence, whatever is the first thing that comes to your mind, because you cannot waste time here, right? In this as well, like thematic appreciation and PPDT, you are expected, not you are expected, but it is a general belief that you need to write something positive. So you see the word, say you see a negative word, you, for instance, you see the word drugs, so you can have a negative sentence for it as well, you can have a positive sentence for it as well. See, I am no psychologist, but that is what I can say. You can have any type of word, any type of idea that comes to you after seeing that word, just write it down and get over it, and then be ready for the next word that is shown on the screen. How you can practice for it? Like, there will be thousands of different negative words that you can find on the internet if you search. For example, weapons and drugs and other things, and you can find many sentences which are made up using those words or using a form of those words. Don't try to remember them, just try to understand how they are being changed and used in the sentences, and then you understand how they are being used, you can make your own use of the words that you see. But just remember this thing: in any of the stages in the 5 days, if at any point you are trying to remember something, you have learned something and you are trying to remember that, except for the facts and general knowledge questions, it will be caught by the interviewer. And it is not like this 5-day test is basically what? It is a test of your personality, your physical fitness, your mental strength. So if you are trying to portray a personality that you don't have, you have learned it from somewhere, that okay, for this question I'll be answering it in this way, though the truth is not this, it will be caught, because the officers are trained who are taking your test, they are trained and they are psychologists. So try not to have any remembered responses, be natural. So what, coming back to the word association test, you see the word, you write your response. It may be positive, it may be negative, just write your normal response. That is the one that will reveal your personality. And try to have a good practice of it. See the internet, what are the kind of words that are given. They are not some high vocabulary, like it is not that they are very high level words which are used by Shashi Tharoor. Those are given. They are very simple words. You just need to frame a sentence that uses that word or form of word or something like that. There will be 60 such words displayed for 15 seconds. Within 15 seconds you need to write and complete it. Now another thing, there may be a time you see a word, you do not get anything in your head and you are not able to write a sentence, or maybe you start writing and the 15 seconds are gone, you have the next word on the screen. Please leave that word. Leave that word, and remember there will be rows made for each word. You need to skip that line. You need to skip that line. Leave that word. If you don't leave that word, you think I'll complete this sentence, you'll get lesser time for the next word, and so on and so forth. So try to leave that word and leave that line, because if you don't leave that line and you see the next word, you start writing the next sentence on that line, the interviewer is going to confuse it for the previous word. So just leave that word, go to the next line, see the word, and don't panic. That is the main thing. There can be instances where you miss out 2 or 3 words in 60 words. Even I missed a few words. That doesn't matter much. What matters is, why are they showing 60 words? So that they are able to get a grasp of your personality. That is it. So try to skip the something you have missed and then continue with the rest. And remember, you need to practice writing, because all these tests which I'm talking about and we'll talk about on day 2, the psychology tests, they are held in sequence, one after the other. The thematic appreciation test you have written 12 stories. Then is the word association test. You need to maintain speed. There are situation reaction test and everything. Your hands will get tired, so try to build a good speed. So after the word association test, we have the situation reaction test. Again, you will be given 60 situations. Now how are these situations given to you? There are 60 situations and they are incomplete. They are given as incomplete sentences or paragraphs. So what is given in these situations? These sentences tell a particular incident. That, say for instance, Chetan was going to the market when he saw an old woman standing on one side of the road, and dash. There is a space given for you to fill the upcoming response, to complete the story, complete the sentence. Again, the time limit for this is very less. In my first SSB attempt, out of 60 situation reaction tests, I was not well prepared. I was able to only complete 33 or 34, which is not good. And in the second attempt, I was able to complete all of them. So that is the thing. You need to be very fast. You need to have a quick response. You need to again practice this as well. There are a lot of situation reaction tests which you can find online, and so you need to, in one line, you have been given a problem, or maybe there is no problem, there is just a certain incident that is given. You need to complete it. Don't think much, but yes, practice it. See how you need to write it. Like I would say that, okay, the old woman was standing on one side of the road was busy, Chetan helped the woman cross the road. You don't have to overthink that, oh no, this is very common, an old woman is standing on the road, I am helping across the road. If you think that, your time will elapse, and that is also very common, so you don't need to do that. Okay, so that is it. Just give your general response, which can vary from person to person. And one more thing, people after giving the examination, they tend to go out, they tend to discuss, they see ki, yes, okay, this guy has written this, I've written this, he seems better, his response seems better, so my answer will be wrong. No answer in this examination is wrong or right. It is just a outcome of what your personality is. It does not have to be the same as another person. There is nothing right or wrong. If now there is a set mark of the personality, the kind of personality they want the people in the armed forces to have, if that matches with your personality, it is well and good. It does not have to be an articulated personality which is not yours, which you have learned. Because this is another thing, if you are not qualified, if you don't clear the SSB examination, it is not because you are not intelligent enough, you are not fit enough, your personality is not good. It is because those standards don't match your personality. And we will definitely not want people on the borders to be lacking anything, right? They need to have the best of the personalities which are required in the armed forces. So even if you're not selected, don't get disheartened, try again, but don't try to form a personality which is not yours. Practice, remember, learn, get general awareness, and be yourself. Strengthen your weak points and make your strong points more strong. Okay, so this was the situation reaction test which I was talking about. There are 60 situations, you complete them and it is done. Then we have the self description. Now in this you will be given 15 minutes. Now this, I think this is the part where you are given enough time. Now what you need to write, there is no question, there are no incomplete sentences, pictures or words, nothing. You need to write about yourself. What do you think of yourself in general? What do you think of your parents? What do you think of your teachers? What do you think about your friends? And where do you see yourself in the near future, or after 5 years or 6 years, or so on and so forth. Basically an idea which tells about you, your current life, the people in your life, and the future you're expecting or you expect, right? So, and please, in your future, don't write that I see I'm in the armed forces and everything. You may write, but that is not good. It is not sure that you will be, no one is sure you'll be admitted in the armed forces or not. Just see, if you were not in the armed forces, if you didn't appear for SSB, if you don't clear it, where do you see yourself? What do you think you should do after 5 years or somewhat like that? Okay, so that is the general thing. Now this thing, self description, you should be prepared. You don't think that this is what I did in my first SSB. I sat there, I wrote it, I was able to complete it. That is not the thing. You'll get your normal response and you will be able to write it on the spot. But it is good to have it prepared. When you know that you need to write about these things, you have it prepared, and then you don't have to remember word to word, but yes, you have an idea of what points you need to write. So this will end your day 2. This is the end of the psychology tests. This is almost the end of what you need to write with your hands. Then we have the day 3 and day 4. Now this is where physical activity starts, where group tasks starts, and these are the most interesting days of the 5-day in SSB. So first I'll talk about the group discussion. Another thing, the day 2 tests which I spoke about, the thematic appreciation, word association and everything, they follow this sequence. And even the day 1 tests, there's the aptitude test, there's the picture perception and discussion, that is it. Day 3 and day 4, the sequence may be different. It is not that you'll have group progressive task before GD or after GD. There is nothing like that. Another thing I'll mention again, that the personal interview can be held any day between day 2 to day 4, right? And if there are a lot of people, it can even some people may even have to give the personal interview on day 5 before the conference, but the conference is the last thing. So day 3, first I'll talk about the group discussion. In group discussion, what happens, you will be sitting in a group of say 6 people, 8 people, 10 people, depending on the strength of the people who are left after screening of day 1. So over there you will be given a topic. Generally there are 2 group discussions. One is on a topic which is very general, one is on a specific topic which is a bit more informative, something like that, not very general. Like a general topic is like elections in India. More specific topic is say demonetization, something like that. So you will be given the topic. Again, it will be very good. Like in the last SSB examination, what we did was when our group was formed and the officer didn't come, we had a very polite pre-discussion before the group discussion, that okay, if anyone, because it happens seriously, it happens that the whole batch gets washed out if no one is worth it. And there is no fixed limit of people. You don't have to eliminate the other one to get selected. If 10 people are eligible, they'll take 10 people. Then there's a different thing about merit list and everything, that is a different thing. But you do your best. You don't have to try to dominate others and everything. You portray your qualities, your personality, that is it. So before that we had a discussion among our group that okay, we'll be giving chance to everyone to speak. If 2 or 3 people start speaking together, we'll try to negotiate at that time and let one speak. Will not waste our time, because there's a fixed amount of time in which you should complete your group discussion. So that is the thing. So our group discussion started, and we were given one specific topic, one general topic. So in group discussion, there can be topics which you have no idea of, you have a lot of idea of. There can be these 2 things, or you have some idea of it. Try to listen to people, even if you know a lot. Even if you don't know about the topic anything and that topic is chosen, don't panic. There was one topic, again in one of my SSB attempts, which I was not having very detailed information about. So in those cases, what you need to do, you can listen to people talking. You need to wait for the right time. You don't have to hesitate. You don't have to hurry up that I'm not speaking, but don't do too late. Listen to people, see where the direction is going. By listening to people, you get an idea of what the topic is, and then you say your views about what that person has spoken. You definitely, when a conversation is going on, you can speak about it even if beforehand you didn't know it, because you have heard people speaking about it, right? So you can ask the person, why do you think it is like this? It could have been this would have been a better solution to this, right? Or you can redirect the flow of the discussion and ask someone else, okay, what do you think about this? You have not spoken for so long and everything. So that is like becoming a mediator in the group discussion, who is taking the discussion in a flow. But remember, every time if you do like this, that okay, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? The trainer is no fool, so he understands that this person does not know anything and is just trying to pass on the bucket to the other person. So don't do that. Listen to people, be attentive. This is guaranteed. You be attentive, you listen to people, you'll get points to speak, you'll get enough points to speak. And then there's a general group discussion on a very general topic. You'll be able to speak on that. Be sure that you use the opportunity while it exists. Speak and listen to people. Maintain eye contact with the people in your group. Don't look at the trainer, what he's saying, what is his response. Don't do that. Okay, and don't try to shout on people. Don't try to be very dominant. Okay, so this is one. Then is the group planning exercise, of, as we say, military planning exercise, and this is quite very practical. And generally what is done, you will be given a board, kind of a small board. Over there you'll have a road map or something like that. There will be different scales given. Okay, 1 centimeter on the map is this much kilometers on ground and everything. There will be different structures given. Here is a house, here is a hospital, here is a school and everything, here is a train line, all those things. The trainer will explain it to you. Okay, what is this, what is this, what is that, the kind of roads, there's a pakka road, there's a kacha road and everything will be explained. There is nothing to panic. You need to understand the problem. Then you'll be told that okay, you are at this point. Now in group planning exercises, there will not be a single problem, there will be 2 or 3 problems. You will be given a specific amount of time. You will have a task which you need to accomplish. Like you are in that situation, you are going from point A to point B. For point B where you are going, you have a task to do that should be done in a fixed amount of time. As you are going from point A to point B, there are some problems that arise on the road, on the way, and as a responsible person, you need to plan how you will be solving all of them. Maybe you can skip a few, or maybe you will not skip a few. You will find other ways to solve it. And there will be times when, since you are in a group in that problem, you will need to divide the group, you will need to merge the group. Say a person leaves the group at point C and meets you at point D and everything. So these things you need to plan. You will be given, you will be told that okay, you have this vehicle and there's a school, there's a marketplace and everything. You need to analyze it at that time. So after the problem is given to you verbally, you will be given a paper. You will have to write the solution, that okay, I have these things, this is the problem, this is the sequence in which I will go and I will solve the problem and I will reach. You need to make sure you solve all the problems in time, you reach your destination in time, you have completed all your work. This is the thing. You have written your answers, you leave the paper, and then the group discussion starts. Now so far you had written your solution. Now you listen to the solution of everyone. Now some solutions you may find they are not feasible with the time given, with the amount of things given to you and the amount of work and everything and the map and everything. You may say okay, I don't agree to you because of this. You need to be reasonable. You don't need to say just I don't agree with you because I don't want to. Not like that. You need to be very reasonable. Maybe now over here what happens, you may not have to stick to your story. If your story is very logical and you think it is actually logically very correct and seems to be the best solution, you may express your view. You may tell, this is what I think can be done here. And if you see where there are logical oppositions to what you have written, accept it. If you see that no, it is not quite logical, you may say why yours is the correct one and everything. In group progressive exercise and in group discussion, both these things, you need to come to a conclusion, a group combined conclusion in which the entire group agrees to it. If you don't, that is a negative. It is a group activity. The group could not come to a consolidated conclusion, so that is not very positive, right? So come to a group conclusion. That depends on your group, right? And on you. So, and there have been times you will need to take charge of the group. You will need to understand which kind of people you have, how to handle all of them, and try, even if your group is not the best of all, you try your best to take the group together and let them come to a valid, proper conclusion. Okay, so this is about the group planning exercise. Then we have the progressive group task. The entire group, and this group hardly changes. You have almost the same people in group progressive exercises, then the progressive group task and the group discussion and everything. In group progressive task, what happens is you are actually, this time it is physical, you don't have to imagine. You are at point A, you'll have to reach point B. There are a number of obstacles in between, say 4 to 5 obstacles, and you are given ropes and planks, etc. Maybe some load as well. And on the obstacles that you need to clear, you'll have to clear using the ropes and the planks. You need to carry the load. There will be areas on the obstacles that you cannot touch. There will be marked red. Some areas where you can touch, you cannot put the load, there will be marked blue. And some areas where you can stand, you can put the load, they will be marked white, and so on and so forth. You can I guess you should have a check on YouTube. There are many videos available for the obstacles, the progressive group tasks and individual obstacles. It is necessary because you need to understand the color marking schemes and everything. So what happens in progressive group tasks, you need to use the tools that you have been given. You need to clear the obstacles within a fixed amount of time, and the entire group needs to do it, and you should follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, you get negative marks.